is out. She's a flame DPS unit who supports your team through dodge, burns, and attack buffs. Let's look through her kit, advancements, matrices, and then look at team building, rotations, and comparisons. Let's start out with her trait. This simply increases final damage by 9% for 30 seconds after using her skill, multiplied by the number of flame weapons equipped, so up to 27% in a triple flame team. Fei's weapon passive is Swift Cut, the same as Yulon's, which stacks up over time and is consumed for damage upon using discharges. It's just free damage, contributing roughly 2% of your total. Her skill deals damage and places you in the Mirage Fantasy state, where a dot and 5-second burn effect are applied to nearby enemies. This burn effect scales, increasing by 6% for every illusion and lotus. After 20 seconds, you gain access to her second skill, which deals a burst of damage, part of which also scales with illusions and lotuses, and also ends the Mirage Fantasy as well as her skill cooldown. If you dodge after starting her skill, you'll create an illusion, which increases your base flame attack by 25% of your enemy's attack, restricted to a small range of 3300 to 3450. Creating an illusion will also grant you a total of 1 lotus for each of your summons created by other characters. Basically, plus 3 lotuses for having Lan, and up to plus 8 for Liu Huo's calligraphy characters. And that's about all you need to know for her kit. Literally, just press the skill, then dodge attack, then you're set. Swap back in 20 seconds to use her second skill, then rinse and repeat. Her basic attacks, while pretty, are not viable for DPS by today's standards. Her discharge also does less DPS than Liu Huo's basic attack chain. But you can use her for exploration, as she can fly quite a significant distance at a decent speed. Use the replenish module on your smart servant to get extra endurance. Next, let's cover her advancements. We'll examine the value of her advancements in the following teams: a Fiona and Liu Huo comp, a triple flame comp with Liu Huo and Lan, a Zeke comp with Liu Huo and Zeke, and finally, a comp for Liu skippers with Lan and Fiona. Her A1 raises the base multiplier of her burn to 60%, or the highest burn available in the team, which is 105% in any team with Lan. This is worth a little chunk, more so in teams with Lan. Her A3 allows you to have 2 illusions out at once, and one is created automatically upon casting the skill. This essentially doubles the attack buff, and adds a little extra multiplier to her burn and skill, and is worth a decent chunk in all teams. Next is her A5. This doubles the multiplier on her burns from lotuses and illusions, from 6% to 12% total. It also makes the endurance consumption on her glide non-existent, allowing you to fly to your heart's content. Finally, her A6 doubles the dot from her skill. This adds a good amount to all teams. Overall, her advancement value across the board is not too significant, with no major breakpoints for anything aside from flying utility. Next, it's the matrices. The 2-piece effect of her matrices increases all attack when using a flame skill or discharge, working in the offhand. The 4 Matrices increases all elemental damage when using at least one flame weapon, with extra final damage when summoning an illusion, also working in the offhand. Here's a chart of the value of Matrices in a Fiona and Liu Huo comp, slotted on the main DPS. Note that if you have Zeke in the comp, you'll gain an extra 9% flame attack, making Zeke's matrix value much higher. Maxed out standard matrices are generally better than 0-star limited matrices on the main DPS slot. Here's another chart comparing the offhand value of matrices. Here you can see that 3-star Hovel and Zilla slightly beat out a 0-star Lawn matrix, but are weaker than limited sets otherwise. Okay, that's it for the basics. Next, we'll dig into Teamcomps, but not before digging into Tokyo Treat and Sakura, the sponsors of this video. Halloween is just around the corner. That means you should treat yourself to some snacks. Tokyo Treat is a monthly subscription box that offers trendy snacks straight from Japan. This month's snacks are all Halloween themed, so help yourself to some sweet potato Kit Kats, jelly bean gummies, or more. Or maybe Sakura's traditional offering might appeal to your taste more. There are goodies in here like matcha cream cookies, tea, sundae, and you also get this pretty floral dish. Use code Maygi to get $5 off your order with the link in the description. Now, on to the rest of the video. Fei Se can fit into many teams, but we'll focus on a few. The Fiona Liu Huo team, Triple Flame, and then the Zeke Liu Huo team. First, let's cover Titan stats, as these are pretty much the same between all comps. TLDR, just get normal attack damage, and generic damage or dodge damage in places where you can. Let's start out with the Fiona team. Here, you'll use Fei Se, Fiona, and a main DPS. This is ideally Liu Huo, but Lan or Annabella can work as a substitute, though it won't be as strong. The ideal matrices are Fei Se, Liu Huo, and Fiona. We'll use Hydro Focus and Wellspring here with Fiona's trait. Overdrive Shot and Thoracic Heart are the preferred relics, but if you don't have A3 Heart, you can use Cold 2 or Omnium Shield instead. Start out with Fei Se's skill and then use Fiona's Discharge and skill. Switch to Liu Huo, pop Overdrive Shot, and for the first rotation only, do one short normal chain before tapping her skill. Use her auto hold dodge combo repeatedly until 3 seconds are left on her skill cooldown. Then switch to Fei Se, jump cancel her discharge, and then use her skill twice. Then use Fiona's discharge and skill, and repeat the rotation with Liu Huo's DPS combo. Next is the Triple Flame team. Ideally, use Lan and Liu Huo, but Annabella can be substituted for either one of them if you happen to skip one. For matrices, Fei Se, Liu Huo, and Zeke's matrices are the strongest, and for traits, we use Fei Se's. Due to the shorter rotation here, we'll use Omnium Shield and Thoracic Heart. Start out with a few Liu Huo autos, and then dodge and discharge to Lan. Press her skill, and then switch to Fei Se, and use her skill, switch to Liu Huo and dodge. Use her skill, and then auto hold dodge combo until around 6 seconds are left on the cooldown. Then repeat the rotation from the Lan discharge, jump cancelling Fei Se's discharge as necessary. Finally, we have the Zeke team. With Zeke and Fei Se, we have one slot for a main DPS. You could replace Liu Huo with Lan or Annabella, though the results won't be as good. Fei Se, Liu Huo, and Zeke matrices are the best to use here, with Overdrive Shot and Thalassic Heart as relics. Zeke's trait is ideal for the small amount of extra physical passive damage. Start out with Zeke's skill, followed by a dodge attack or 2 for good measure. Switch to Fei Se and use her skill, then switch to Liu Huo, auto and dodge. Then use her skill and DPS with her auto hold dodge combo until roughly 3 seconds are left on her skill cooldown. Then cancel Zeke's discharge and quick cast his skill, and do the same with Fei Se and her 2 skills, before repeating the rotation with Liu Huo's DPS combo. Now it's time to compare the strength of various comps to each other, starting with the Fei Se comps. Here's a chart to show the strength of 4 different Fei Se comps, with varying advancements of Fei Se, assuming A6 of the other 2. We have our Fiona Liu Huo team, Triple Flame team with Lan and Liu Huo, a Zeke Liu Huo team, and then a Lan and Fiona team. As you can see, the Fiona and Triple Flame team come quite close, and the Zeke comp is a notch above them. Without Liu Huo, unfortunately, the damage will be quite a bit lower. Now, how about compared to the rest of the meta? At maximum investment, the Fiona and Triple Flame teams roughly clock in at around the same potential damage as a physical team, but the Zeke comp is a decent nudge above both. The graph is essentially the same in the Dolphin investment comp, though Fizz falls off without limited matrices. In comps with all A3 units, the Flame comps still sit at the top of others, though the Zeke comp is the strongest of them all. At all A1, an FTP investment, the new Fei Se comps are weaker than the old Fiona Zeke Liu Huo team. Fei Se adds a good amount of value to Flame teams, but despite her synergy with other Flame characters, Zeke has so much raw value that Flame comps without him are a bit below the expected curve. I have a little video talking about the worrying side effects of a dual Flame Fizz characters. Link in the description. That's about it for the Fei Se analysis. I compromised a bit on detailed explanation to trim the length down to a more reasonable duration. What do you think? Do you prefer the longer, more detailed version or the slightly accelerated version? Leave your comments down below. I'll see you guys next time!